Hello there, badgers. Frieslufa and Bletzinger. Frieslove and blessings. So, not going to go into a political one today. I'm going to do something that's more along my main interest. Evolution. And the question I want to say is I want to bring up it's not the first time this question has been brought up, right? But more and more, this question it seems that people are coming around to this idea that this is the case. It's just, I'm going to preface this, but as of right now, this isn't the case, but it could very well be the case going forward. So, when we look at the orca dolphin, orca whale, killer whale, whatever you want to call it, Orcinus orca, Orcinus orca, whatever you want to call it, we know that there are many different populations of them all over the planet, right? And they have different, they speak differently, they have different markings, they feed on different things, have different family structures and whatnot. And the common term for these different types is different ecotypes, right? Or subspecies, possibly, right? Now, something about that always felt a little bit odd to me. I don't know why. It just, something about that always felt a little bit odd to me. Maybe it's the incredibly wide geographical distribution, possibly. But there are studies that are showing that at least with two in the Pacific, right? There are resident and bigs orca dolphins, orca whales. I'm going to call them orcas from now. So you've got two different orcas, right? You've got the bigs and the residents. And the residents eat fish, I gather, mostly. And the bigs go after mammals, seals, whales and such, right? Now, the residential whales, they tend to have much bigger family groups. The big whales tend to have much smaller family groups, from what I gather, and their builds are slightly different, and they have different markings, as you might see by the picture on the thumbnail. Now, it seems like these different ecotypes may actually be separate species under the same genus. Now, this is complicated. It actually isn't, and a very, very easy comparison to give to you here. Now, people who may know better than I do might cringe at this comparison, but I wonder if they actually think it's a good one. But I compare this to lions, tigers, jaguars, leopards, right? All of them come under the genus Panthera, right? Panthera leo, Panthera tigris, etc. Each of them are separate species. So that's the same thing is going on here, because it seems in some of these studies that it seems that there has been no interbreeding between the resident whales and the big orca whales for millions of years. So it could be, and that there are reports that there was orca cannibalism in the around Bering Strait or something. And maybe that's not actually cannibalism. Maybe that's just a predator prey event, because the big orcas go after whales and seals and porpoises and dolphins and stuff. They go after mammals. As the residents, as I said, maybe and this isn't, you know, this is, I first came across this from another YouTuber, and if she sees this, this is credit to you. I can't fucking remember her name. I need to, if I manage to find her in my history list, I will put the link to her video into the description. I cannot fucking remember who she is right this second. But she seemed to know what she was talking about. So, like I said, I'll dig through my history in a minute and have a look. But that was good. But maybe it isn't. And she was saying that maybe this isn't cannibalism. This is a predator-prey relationship, and that the reason, one of the reasons why the residents have such big pods is as a defense mechanism against not just sharks, but actually these big orcas. Like I said, the main comparison I have with the Panthera stuff is just so to give you an outline of how phylogenetic taxonomy, because a lot of people that challenge me still seem to be on the Linnaean model, and that's just it is wrong. I don't like. At the very least, the more and more I study it, the more and more I'm finding that phylogenetics is more correct. So, you know, but like, so you have species, but like I said, we were thinking these are like maybe subspecies or ecotypes. But no, maybe they're actually separate species under the same genus, like all the big cat species. Not including cheetahs there, because they're actually in the same genus as your house cat. That's why they don't roar. So yeah, I like. I mean, there seems to be a fair bit of evidence for this, and I'm I'm really curious as to what the evidence is going to show going forwards. As I said, this is the residents are fish eaters. The transients are orcas that consist almost exclusively of diets consist almost exclusively of marine mammals. So yeah, and the two tend to avoid each other. But like, maybe there is something going on here. I'm actually I'm actually kind of with the idea that these two types are different species. But I think, just as with all science, we do need to wait for more evidence. This was a piece of information that I thought like different to what I usually do, and I have some understanding of this anyway, because I've been reading about, watching stuff about orcas my entire life, on and off. So one of my favourite things that live in the seas is Orcanus orca. So yeah, like, what do you reckon? Do you think that the more research will go to show that they are indeed separate species under the same genus, like we have with big cats and other things, and or are they, as we currently describe them, is that gonna hold true? Is that gonna hold still to be correct? That they are different ecotypes, just different types of the same species. I'm be quite interested to see how that pans out. If I'm honest, like I said, I'm gonna try and look for, after I've finished recording, I'm gonna try and look for the video that I first saw this topic on, and if I find it, I will put it in the description. But yeah, it's only a small one. It was just something that I was like, "Ooh, this is interesting." So yeah, it could be that we as of right now, we could be describing orcas wrong. We could be looking at the evolution of orcas the wrong way. What do you reckon? Let me know. And do you think that it's going to be really interesting to see the future research on this or not? Do you think this is boring? Let me know. So, from me, one angry pagan, Shadowito, Freaks, Luffel and Bletzinger, Freaks, love and blessings, you wonderful badgers. Bye bye.